They say life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you're ready for. And most people aren't. Not because they're not worthy, not because they lack desire, but because their character was never sharpened enough to carry the weight of the thing they prayed for. See, the dream isn't the test, the preparation is. Everyone wants the mountain, but nobody wants to become the version of themselves strong enough to climb it. Everyone wants the crown until they realize it's made of thorns. You don't get the calling and then become the person. You become the person, and then the calling recognizes you. Because the dream, the vision, the life, the abundance, the peace, the platform, was always waiting for someone strong enough not to drop it. And that kind of strength doesn't come from comfort. It's built in the shadows. It's forged when no one is clapping. It's formed when life closes every door, and you choose to keep walking like one was already open. Preparation is proof of belief. It's what separates those who want the blessing from those who are ready to bear it. You want the breakthrough? Then build the structure. Raise your standard. Train your nervous system to hold the pressure that your future demands. Because what you're asking for, that level of success, that relationship, that purpose-driven business, that healed identity, it's heavy. And if you receive it before you're ready, you'll drop it. You'll sabotage it. You'll mislabel it as overwhelming, when the truth is, it's just revealing the parts of you that were still untrained. This is not punishment. This is preparation. This is life-checking. Can you be trusted? Can you still move without applause? Can you still show up when no one understands? Can you still remain rooted when the world calls you crazy? Because your dream doesn't need someone who just wants it. It needs someone who can carry it through a storm. And that version of you, that next-level locked-in, refined-by-fire version of you, only shows up when the excuses finally die. You're not stuck. You're being sculpted. And that process, it's brutal. It strips. It removes every weak part of you that would have cracked under pressure. That failed relationship training. That loss training. That season of silence where nothing made sense and you questioned who you were training. You thought the resistance was rejection, but it was refinement. You thought the delay meant you weren't ready, but it was time buying you the chance to become unstoppable. See, success doesn't ask if you're talented. It asks if you're stable, and if you're still negotiating your worth, if you're still shrinking for acceptance, if you're still outsourcing your identity to applause. You're not ready to carry it yet. But when you stop begging and start building, when you stop praying for escape and start preparing for impact, when you stop waiting to feel ready and decide to become ready, that's when the doors open. That's when the calling finds you. Because success doesn't go to the loud. It goes to the rooted, the responsible, the resilient, the ones who don't just fantasize about the next level, they train for it. They bleed for it. They show up for it in silence until it has to recognize them. You want to know why most people never arrive? It's not because they lacked opportunity. It's because they refuse to be fortified for it. They got addicted to motivation, but allergic to discipline. They got obsessed with alignment, but forgot that alignment requires action. They kept asking, "When will it come?" instead of asking, "Who do I need to become so I don't drop it when it does?" You see, dreams don't die from failure. They die from unreadiness. And unreadiness is not just about skill, it's about capacity. Can you carry the weight of your purpose? Or are you still hoping for a life that requires no responsibility? Let me tell you something that most won't. Blessings are heavy. They cost sleep. They cost comfort. They cost the identity you used to love because it kept you liked, even if it kept you limited. You say you want impact, but are you training your character to hold it? You say you want wealth, but can you control your appetite long enough to build it? You say you want love, But can you love yourself enough to stop seeking approval and start honoring standards? Because life doesn't give you what you say you want. It gives you what you're qualified to carry. And the qualification isn't a title. It's who you are when no one is watching. It's the moment you say no to comfort and yes to clarity. It's when you delete the excuses and dare to show up raw, ready, and real. It's when you sacrifice the version of you that was obsessed with arrival and fall in love with becoming. Let's get practical, because this isn't about theory. This is about preparation. It's about the day you wake up and realize, if I don't become unshakable, I will never be trusted with what I've been praying for. Preparation looks like choosing structure over scattered energy. It's waking up before you feel like it. It's honoring a routine that future you will thank you for. It's taking radical ownership for the gap between who you are and who you're called to be, and filling that gap with discipline, not drama. You want to be rare. Get consistent. You want to stand out. Become dependable when others are distracted. Because the algorithm isn't the problem. Your attention is. The world isn't against you. Your habits are. And success isn't running from you. It's just waiting for you to build a container strong enough to receive it. Every level demands a higher standard. And the version of you that receives is not the version of you that wishes. It's the version that acts. The version that shows up with dirt on their hands, blood in their lungs, and a decision so firm that no storm can shake it. This isn't about doing more. It's about becoming more stable, more centered, more willing to walk away from what's good enough to make room for what's meant for you. So let me ask you, if the life you wanted walked into the room right now, could you hold it? Could you steward it without self-sabotage? Could you carry it without questioning if you deserved it? Or would it collapse under the weight of your old identity, still begging to feel ready? Because here's the secret nobody wants to say. It doesn't matter what's coming, if who you are isn't ready to receive it. Every next level of your life is already in motion. But motion isn't movement if you're still mentally chained to indecision. Let me say it again, not because it sounds good, but because it's your wake-up call. You will never receive what you haven't built the capacity to carry. That means the job isn't to chase blessings. The job is to become the version of yourself who wouldn't drop them. The job is to build your spine so strong that the weight of responsibility becomes fuel, not fear. To develop discipline so deep that success is no longer an accident, it's inevitable. But you know what makes most people buckle? It's not pressure. It's not rejection. It's the quiet war within the one between who they are and who they pretend to be. They want the results of a giant with the habits of a coward. They want visibility without stability. They want to be chosen but refuse to do the internal excavation that comes before elevation. That's not destiny. That's delusion. And it will keep you broken and bitter watching others rise while you recite the same excuses that have kept you at the bottom. But not you. Not anymore. Because you're not here for easy. You're here for transformation. Let's talk truth. You want purpose. Purpose will make you cry before it lifts you. It will empty your hands so you can pick up what matters. You want success. Success will strip your laziness, your victimhood, your self-sabotage publicly. You want to be trusted with more. Then God, the universe, life, whatever you believe will test how you treat what's already in your hands. Because if you can't master the room you're in, you're not ready for the stage you're praying for. You will not be trusted with a platform until your private habits are purified. You will not be trusted with influence until your character has been carved by consistency. You will not be trusted with greatness while you still idolize comfort. Greatness doesn't coddle. It confronts, and it asks without apology. Will you become the one who can carry it? Not just dream about it, not just post about it, not just talk about it over coffee for the 100th time. Carry it, even when it's heavy, even when no one sees it, even when you're tired, misunderstood, underestimated, overworked, and under-celebrated. Because if you only move when you feel ready, you'll miss everything that was meant for the real you. So here's the question that echoes louder than any applause. Can you be trusted with the weight of your own destiny? Can you carry what others dropped? Can you show up when you'd rather shrink? Can you speak life when you feel like quitting? Because legacy doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who prepare in silence, so that when the moment arrives, they don't flinch, they don't fold, they function, they carry. Some people are praying for a breakthrough, but still clinging to what the breakthrough would require them to let go of. They want abundance, but won't release scarcity. They want love, but still entertain trauma. They want clarity, but refuse to sit with silence. You cannot receive with fists clenched around your limitations. You cannot welcome the next chapter while hoarding the habits of the last one. You say you're waiting on timing, but timing isn't waiting, you are. And let's be real. Most people don't miss their destiny because of some external force. They miss it because when it knocked, they were too busy doubting themselves to answer the door. But you're not here to delay. You're not here to deny the calling just because it demands more from you. You're not here to live lukewarm. You are here to carry fire. And fire doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wait for applause. It doesn't soften itself to fit into places it has outgrown. It burns clean through limitation. It purifies what's weak. It reveals what's real. And what's real is that every time you avoid the discomfort of growth, you delay the delivery of your destiny. Discipline is not punishment. It's preparation. It's the evidence that you're expecting something worth holding. It's the silent proof that you are building a structure that can support the weight of greatness, not once, not temporarily, but every day relentlessly. Because if you want a life that others admire, you must do the work that most avoid. And yes, it will cost you. It will cost you your old identity. It will cost you the crowd who cheered for your potential but panicked at your evolution. It will cost you comfort shortcuts and all the seductive voices telling you to take it easy. But what you gain? You gain peace. You gain clarity. You gain a future no longer determined by fear, but by fortitude. This is why most people never make it. Not because they're incapable, but because they never built the habits that would make them capable. They thought the dream was enough. It isn't. The discipline is. So listen closely and let it sink into your bones. You won't receive what you're not prepared to carry. But the moment you decide, the moment you cut off every exit, the moment you stop hoping and start building, that's the moment the entire universe takes you seriously. Because now, you're not just a dreamer. You're a vessel. You're a warrior with wounds, yes, but also with wisdom. You're a builder who shows up when others disappear. You're no longer waiting for signs. You are the sign. No more pretending to be less than what you were built to be. No more spiritual amnesia about your own potential. No more asking for what you haven't yet embodied. This is the line. This is the night. This is the moment you outgrow the version of yourself that waited and become the version that carries. There comes a time when desire must mature into decision, when wishing must evolve into warfare, and when prayer must become practice or it dies as fantasy. That time is now. You've flirted with your potential long enough. You've entertained comfort long enough. You've rehearsed your excuses long enough. And the truth is, every next level you've asked for has already arrived, but it's disguised as responsibility. It looks like early mornings and late nights. It sounds like no's to distractions and yeses to self-respect. It feels like the burn of discipline when no one claps for you and you show up anyway. This isn't a punishment. This is how God, life, the universe, whatever you believe, trusts you. Not with rewards, but with weight. Because what's coming is too valuable to place in untrained hands. You don't get to carry what's sacred until you become someone sacred can trust. So don't ask for it if you're not willing to become what it demands. You won't receive what you're not prepared to carry, and you won't carry it until you decide to become the one who can. Now, if this message didn't just inspire you, if it stirred something awake, don't let it fade. Let it fuel you, because some of you aren't lacking opportunity. You're leaking discipline. Some of you aren't waiting on a miracle. You're avoiding movement. So don't just watch this and walk away. Drop a comment below and speak it into reality. I'm ready to carry it. Like the video. Share it with someone who needs this fire. And if you haven't yet subscribed, not just to this channel, but to the version of you that shows up regardless of the wait. Because the future isn't waiting, it's watching, and it moves for the one who's already